Relax on your PC on today's Call for Help.
I hope these people can help me with my computer. A technician will be with you in 4 hours.
4 hours?
You can upgrade for just $5,000.
What?
The Universal Serial Config board should be set to ID6.
I need that in plain English. Help!
Leo Laporte to Call for Help. May I help you? I'm very relaxed now. Thank you, Monica. Welcome to Call for Help. Leo Laporte here. We're going to help you with your personal confuser today. This is the show where we take technology and we make it accessible and easy for everyone to use. And my helpettes are here, helperettes. Andy Cyberwalker. Look, see, I'm in the Lotus here.
I can't do that.
I can't get out of it. Help me. Help me. Monica Latanwa. And I'm Leo Laporte.
They're going to have to carry him over to the
We'll do the show sitting down. No, I can get out of it. Oh, that's better. Hey, how are you?
Very limber.
Good to see you.
Good. And I've been playing my N-Gage.
What is that there?
It's the N-Gage QD.
Now, this is a Nokia cell phone that was a gaming device as well, but this is a lot smaller than the first one that came out.
Yeah, they've really improved it. They launched this a couple of years ago.
It was like holding a taco to your head.
Yeah, it's like a taco. And in fact, when you made a telephone call,
yeah, it was
like
just
this.
too weird. But now it's normal, like a regular phone.
Now they do this. You turn it around. The next version,
better.
and they just this fall they hit the 1 millionth sale. So.
But you could put now the other thing I didn't like about the original N-Gage was that you had to take the battery out to put a new game in.
Yeah, it was dumb.
You still have to do that?
No,
hallelujah.
They fixed that with.
Although I know you couldn't figure out how to turn it on for a while.
I know, they got to change that maybe for their next.
You know what? I need nails, but there you go.
And Andrew said he couldn't find the. So you put little slots, little cards in the slot.
Little cards in there, SD-like cards, yeah.
And how many games are out now? Do you know?
Lots.
Are there really?
Yeah, well, I don't know. There's like 3 or 4 dozen.
Oh, that's
maybe,
great.
Something like that.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
maybe more.
That is lots. Yeah.
Yeah. But when I think, please Nokia, please change this. Power key is right here.
Figure out.
Yeah, for those out there.
It took me 3 days to figure out how to turn that thing on. Please.
But they've sold now 1 million of these, so that's a successful product.
That is, and I doubted them. I said,
I did too.
Never gonna
a gaming phone?
Yeah, silly.
Yeah. So it's kind of like the idea would be kind of like it's like a Game Boy plus a phone.
Yeah.
You know, I hear birds singing.
No,
is that you, Monica, or is that him?
I'm playing Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods.
Oh, you're playing golf.
Play?
Is it a pretty good game?
I thought that was
I thought it was you because you're going to be doing. What are you going to do a little later on today?
I'm going to show you how to relax on your PC. So if you're at work and you're stressed out, you can relax using your PC.
Look at you, Tiger Woods. It's
Yes,
very relaxing.
that's
This
right.
is
Hey, it's very
He's
zen.
chirping.
Yeah.
Is that a birdie?
That's not Tiger. That's the bird on the course.
Also, we're going to talk about Tiger chirps. We're also going to talk about XP2, Service Pack 2.
Service Pack 2, yeah. We're going to have a look at, that just came out recently, and so we're going to look at what it does for Outlook Express and for Internet Explorer.
Cool.
So,
How this changes. And speaking of Outlook Express and Internet Explorer, our Microsoft Office expert, Heather McBurney, is back.
Yay.
She's going to take us a little tour through Word and Excel.
Fantastic.
Some great Office tips. Yeah. And our free file today, you're going to check network transfer speeds.
Yes.
That's always good to know.
Website transfer speeds.
Why is it slow? Why is it fast? What's going on? Is it slow? Is it? Yeah, that's be good. But I hear the bat phone.
Was that
That's the N-Gage?
N-Gage?
Oh, no, I think it's our first caller of the day. I'm going to give this back to Andy before I get in trouble.
No, it's okay. I'll take it.
Yeah, a little gamer girl here.
Hello, Ryan. Oh, where are you from? Oh, you're from Caledonia.
Oh, I better start walking. Let me walk
Ontario.
past Basil. Hello, Basil. How are you today? What does this say on your tag here? It says Dish Hunter.
Dish hunter.
Are you looking for dishes?
No, not really.
Okay, he's just got
I have enough.
He has enough dishes. All right, let's say, what was his name again? Who were we talking to?
Ryan.
Ryan. Hello, Ryan. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Leo. How are you?
I'm doing very well.
Welcome to Canada.
Ah, yes. I like it here.
Yeah, I hope you enjoy your stay.
Oh, I'm a
Hope
big
you
fan
stay
of maple
forever.
syrup and the maple leafs.
Yeah.
Anything
Oh, yeah.
with maple in it,
All
I
the way.
love. So what can we do for you today?
I used to have a Athlon 2000 XP Plus processor.
Yeah.
And I wanted an upgrade, so I upgraded to a Athlon 3000 Plus.
Wow.
Should I have waited and bought a 64-bit processor, or should I have gone with that? I don't know how many programs can utilize a 64-bit.
That is a wonderful question. And I think my answer has changed a little bit based on benchmark results. Now, you have a very good processor, let me tell you.
Yeah,
I mean,
I got it for a good deal.
That's it. How much did you pay for the Athlon?
I paid $180 online on eBay.
Okay. So I'm going to go to Price Watch. Now, this is a U.S. site, so these are U.S. prices.
Yeah.
But you'll get some idea, at least some comparative idea. Price Watch is good for checking prices on the web, at least seeing what the lowest prices are. And I've gone to the CPU section here. Let's go over to Athlon. Now, the XP3000 that you bought now is down to $96 U.S. That's about what you paid for it in Canadian.
I paid for it, and that was $180 shipped, so it was
$180. All right. Well, now remember, this is the lowest price of anybody's offering. You know, but if we go up to the 64, it's $153. It's more than 50% more. And if you go to the FX, which is their really high-end 64-bit. You're starting at $745. That's not for a computer.
That's not in a university student's budget right now.
Yeah, that's a chip. That's a chip. The computer, you got to build around it. So we're talking big bucks here for these 64-bit chips. Now, is it 50% faster? Probably not. Is it faster? Yes. And this is where my tune has changed quite a bit, Ryan. 64 bits in and of itself isn't necessarily better.
Yeah.
All that means is the processor, instead of dealing with data 4 bytes or 3 bytes at a time, or 4 bytes at a time, I should say, with a 32-bit chip, is dealing with it 8 bytes at a time. It has twice as much of a chunk of data. Now, in a word processor, the chunk of data is a single letter, which is 1 byte. So is this 8 times faster? No. In fact, there's a lot of wasted space in a 64-bit processor when you're doing most kinds of computing. It's only when you're dealing with chunks of data that are really large that you get a benefit, or if you need a lot of RAM, because one of the advantages of a 64-bit processor is it can address a lot more memory as well. A 64-bit operating system can look at, I think, 4 terabytes of data, of memory. Nobody has that much memory. Nobody's going to buy that much memory. So you're right. I mean, you don't have 64-bit applications, so they're not really taking advantage of it. And you don't have a 64-bit operating system. Windows is 32-bit, so you're not taking advantage of it. And most applications, even if they were 64-bit, there's no point in having a 64-bit word processor because you're dealing with 8-bit chunks. So why 64-bit? Well, it turns out, in benchmarks, the Athlon 64 is the fastest processor out there. It's really fast. And I think it's more because AMD did a lot of great efficiencies, it did a lot of great improvements in that chip. It's a next-gen chip, not just because it's a 64-bit chip. It's a next-gen chip. So we're seeing great benchmark results, but not 50% better. So your bang for the buck is not, you're paying 50% more. Are you getting 50% more? No, you might be getting 20% more. Andy, did you have a...
I had a question.
A question from the floor.
Right. Well, I would imagine then this processor would make graphics editing and video editing.
Well, that's exactly where you benefit.
Better.
Because you do deal with big chunks of data in things like compressing an MP3, in editing video, in compressing video. All of those things you really see a benefit. Do you see a benefit in gaming? Well, you wouldn't theoretically.
Okay, that's good, because that's mainly what I use my
Well, but I'll tell you the truth. If you want the best gaming chip out there, get an FX.
Okay.
Or a 64, because in benchmarks, in pure benchmarks, it is faster. And I think that's more because of improvements in the chip design than the actual size of the registers. I don't think that, in fact, I don't think that is much of an advantage. Maybe it is a little bit in gaming if you're dealing with big textures. So, did you blow it? No, you didn't blow it. You got a great chip. I think that chip is going to last you a few years. You got an equivalent of a 3 gigahertz chip.
Okay.
That's a pretty darn good chip.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
So don't freak, man.
All right, thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Ryan. I appreciate the call.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, for a long time, I poo-pooed 64-bit architectures. I said, look, until the operating systems and the applications are tuned for 64 bits, you're not going to see any benefit. And in many applications, you're never going to see a benefit because there's none to be gained. But in fact, in this case, this is such a good chip for other reasons that they really see the efficiencies, and it is much faster. It benchmarks really well. But again, 10%, 20%, are you going to notice the difference? Probably not. Maybe a gamer would, because, every little bit counts in those. Coming up after the break, Andy's going to tell us how to get tougher security for Outlook and Internet Express, or Internet Explorer.
Exploder.
Internet Exploder, as we call it around here. Stick around. We've got more to come. Don't go away. Microsoft released Service Pack 2 in August. I think by now most of you have downloaded it. If you haven't, go ahead and do it. It's safe to download, and it's really worth downloading. Service Pack 2 updates many security features on the computer, and that's why we recommend that you download it. Yeah, it fixes bugs, but more importantly, it really enhances the security of XP. Andy's been working on it, playing with it, and he's found some interesting things. It's not just the operating system. It changes some applications like Outlook Express.
Yeah, the big focus is on the firewall, but there's all kinds of neat little things that are emerging in other programs, especially the Microsoft programs.
Right.
And I'm going to show you today one of the really key features of Outlook Express, a couple of them actually, and then we'll go to Internet Explorer.
Yeah,
afterwards.
unfortunately, Outlook Express, I mean, it's been around for a long time, hasn't really been updated very much, it hasn't changed much, but most people use it because it's free. It's the mail program you get with Windows.
That's right. That's right.
It's the one most used, so it's important to keep it up to date.
So I've got Outlook Express open on my computer here. Outlook 2003, had this picture blocker. So when you get an email that has pictures in it, HTML email, the images don't show up unless you tell them to. And so they've added that feature with SP2 to Outlook Express, the free email program.
Now, why would you want that? Why wouldn't you want to see those
Well,
pictures?
imagine if there was like naughtyladies.com showed up on your computer.
There's another reason for spam, because spammers use invisible one pixel by one pixel images that are downloaded from their server to see if you're reading the email.
Right, because it validates my email address and says, hey, Andy is a real person and not just some random...
Plus, they send that to their clients. They say, look, we've got 3,000 people who read your email.
Right.
Well, all they did was have it open in the preview page.
Right.
So this turns it off.
So
But that may bug some people. They all of a sudden, they're using Outlook Express and the pictures are gone. It looks like it's broken, in fact.
It is. But you can, you get an email in and you actually right-click on the image. Oh, sorry, that would be an Outlook. So if you did click on here, and the picture will actually come through theoretically.
It's downloaded right now. Okay. So what did you click on?
So I just clicked on this little bar
on the
here.
header.
So let's go back to a different one here. Say there's a
Some
bar
pictures
here.
have been blocked. Oh, it explains.
It explains
click here
what
to download pictures. I get it.
So then if I click on there, bingo, it pops open.
Great.
Now it does some interesting things. Of course, viruses and worms have been sending stuff, coming across email as attachments.
Big problem.
And so
it's the number one way you get viruses these days.
It is the number one.
Yeah.
Well, right. So when you actually have an attachment, it shows up still. But when you double-click on the attachment now, it will ask you. It'll say, "Do you really want to open this file?"
Good.
And and also you can say, "Always ask before opening this type of file."
Or you could uncheck it and you'd never see it again. But I don't recommend you uncheck it. It's a good reminder.
No, it is a good reminder. Yeah.
Because that people still willy-nilly just kind of open these and say, "Oh, I don't know why hacker.com is sending me an attachment. Let me open it."
That's right.
Well,
Don't. Please don't.
don't.
Another thing that you probably wouldn't know, and I didn't know until I dug around and deep into the documentation, is that if you go into the Tools menu into Options and click on the Security tab's sort of been renovated.
Oh, it's changed, yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And one thing that really, here's the Download Images option
so
here.
So you could turn that off.
Turn that off if you got really annoyed, too. But it also has this really cool thing. It says, warn me when other applications try to send email as me. So if you get isn't that great? So if you get a program that you get a worm on your system and it tries to use your resources to send spam, because a lot of these things turn your computer into what's called a zombie, which sends out spam on somebody else's behalf. This will say, hey, somebody else is using your machine to try to send stuff via email. So that's
many of these viruses put their own SMTP email server on your system, so it would be bypassing Microsoft's email client. So I presume that it wouldn't see those.
Not necessarily, but
no. But hey, it stops some of them.
But it's way better than it was before.
Yeah, that's great.
Let's move on to Internet Explorer. Do you think we have time for that?
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Internet Explorer, or Exploder, as we call it sometimes.
It's pretty reliable. It doesn't crash.
It doesn't crash.
It used to crash a lot. It doesn't crash much anymore.
It's not too
pretty
bad.
reliable.
But if I click on Tools and Internet Options, and I'm going to click on the Privacy tab here, you've probably seen this in other programs. There's been a lot of third-party block,
a pop-up blocker.
Ads.
Well, nobody does it better than the browser, because the browser is the one that actually sees the page.
It's
and
the one
knows
that
what's going on.
It opens it. Yeah. So that's a really, really handy, thing to have.
What happens when you click Settings? What kinds of things can we change?
Well, you can actually, allow some sites, sometimes pop-ups are legitimate. They're login registration, they're alerts, things like that you really want to know. So you can actually put into allowed sites, the sites you visit regularly where you want the pop-ups.
You can also change the level of pop-up blocking if you want it to be more aggressive or less aggressive.
So there's a filter level.
Yeah.
And there's also, you can be alerted when a pop-up block is when a pop-up is blocked.
Yeah.
And
very good.
And information. So some of the new things from SP2.
I think big improvements, in fact.
Great, yes.
Download it. All you have to do is run Windows Update. Click on your Start menu, select Windows Update, and download it. It is big. If you're on dial-up, you might want to contact Microsoft. They have a website where you can download or buy a CD for just a few dollars. It's a nominal fee. $3?
It's free.
It's free?
It's free.
They don't charge you for shipping?
Nope.
Those people at Microsoft are so nice.
Very good.
So nice. There were, for a while, they were saying, you can't run Windows Update. Our servers are overwhelmed, but I think it's slowed down and it's a little bit easier to get through now.
They didn't stage it. They rolled in phases, that sort of thing.
Yeah. But by now, you shouldn't have any trouble doing it. And please do. If you're on dial-up, you could do it overnight. Just let it run overnight. For more information on those updates you get with Service Pack 2 for Outlook Express and Internet Explorer, go to our show notes. Andy's written it up at callforhelptv.com. Now, let's test your brain cells there. What kind of gray matter do you have? What company, here's our quiz of the day, what company invented the transistor in 1947? Was it MITS, International Business Machines, Bell Laboratories? Welcome back to Call for Help in just a few minutes. Monica's going to have, is it your free file today? Monica's free file today?
No.
It's Andy's free file today.
Andy's turn.
Oh, yeah, of course, network transfer speeds. It has to be Andy. But first, who else? But first, more of your phone calls. Mon, who you got?
I got Matt from Bozeman, Montana.
Bozeman, Montana. Oh, there's a pretty place. Hey, Matt, how are you?
Doing great.
Welcome to the show.
Great to be on.
Yeah, what can I do for you today?
I've accidentally disabled the video card on my Dell laptop.
Oh, that's not good.
And so now when Windows starts up, you can see the boot up screen, and then as soon as it starts loading Windows, the screen goes blank. But you can hear it starting up. You hear the little welcome sound.
Oh, that's interesting. So Windows is continuing. It's running fine. It's just you don't see it.
Yeah.
Do you see it on? Have you tried plugging an external monitor in just to get a?
Yeah, that no go on that.
Okay.
Still, it's blank too.
Do you know what you did?
We've also tried going into safe mode.
Oh, yeah, that was going to be my first recommendation. What happens then?
It hangs, and if you tell it to do the one where it shows you all the device drivers it's loading, it stops at one that's called AGP 440 something.
Yeah, that's this. Yeah, that's the video card driver. So it sounds like you've got a bad video card driver, a video driver. Now, what did you do? You said you disabled it. Did you actually do something?
Yeah, well, we were just playing around in the device manager and accidentally disabled the video card. And how there's only one that doesn't really work out.
I shouldn't laugh. That's an interesting thing. So you're an XP. Maybe I could disable my video card. Let's see. This is really an interesting thing. I didn't even know you could do that. So you went into your video driver, and instead it says you have device usage. Use this device enable. You selected do not use this device disable.
Yep.
And then you clicked OK. Should I do that?
No, don't do it.
Come on. You guys got no guts.
You go, do it, make it happen.
What do you think will happen?
Well, you have to go into safe mode afterwards if you did.
But yeah, now he can't go into safe mode because it crashes.
It crashes? Safe mode crashes?
So what safe mode goes into is your VGA driver. It actually doesn't use this video card driver, this official video card. I'm not going to do it because I'm chicken. It would make me reboot, and then my screen would go blank, just like Matt's. And I don't want to identify you with you that closely, Matt. So what the problem sounds like is that your VGA driver is also bad or missing. So that's why safe mode's corrupted or crashing. What happens when you go into safe mode is it doesn't use that driver, the NVIDIA driver, the ATI driver. It uses a standard VGA driver, which is clearly damaged at this point. So how are we going to get him whole again, Andrew? What do you think? Should he try running recovery from the XP disk?
He should try to repair the Windows install, yeah.
Yeah, I always hate doing that because I tell you, I do not have good results with it, but it sounds like you might have to do that at this point, Matt. What's happened is two bad things happened to you. If you just did this and turn it off, you could go into safe mode and re-enable it and everything would be fine, but you can't get into safe mode because it's crashing.
I wonder if he can get into safe mode in DOS and use the command line system restore that we talked about.
That might be the way to do that, yeah.
At one point.
There is a that's probably exactly what he should do.
Yes.
So how does he do the DOS system restore?
What he wants to do is get into, see if you can get into safe mode in DOS mode. So
you know how to do that? You just restart and you press the F8 key.
F8. Yep. Choose, I think it's safe mode in command line, something like that. Yeah. And then you want to go into C. So you want to change from CD. You use the CD command to change the directory.
Because you have to go to the directory where this is. So let's see if I can do it here. Well, I'll try to follow along. So I'm rebooting. I'm going to try to get into the startup menu here. I'm tapping F8. Okay, we're going to go to safe mode with command prompt.
Command prompt.
Okay. And XP Home Edition. There it is. It's booting up in the command prompt. By the way, there's the driver that crashes for you, AGB440.sys. That's the driver you disabled, and it looks like I'm stuck there too. Give
it a sec. It'll clear.
It'll come up in a second, and then we'll be able to type. What was it? It was SRU. What was the System Restore?
The System Restore program was.
Because we just did this the other day.
We do have it on a.
It was something UI. I remember that.
It was RSTUI.
Oh, I went into regular. Oh, darn it! I have to reboot again. RSTUI.
Right.
And that is what we're basically doing here, Matt, is we're going to be able to run System Restore. You know the System Restore that rolls you back to the previous. Did you try the setting that said last known good configuration? Did that work?
That didn't work either.
Oh.
System Restore from. I've got the actual URL here. So not the URL. We will post this on the website. But so you want to go to C/Windows System 32.
That's where it lives.
Restore, and then the program is rstrui.exe. So that will run System Restore in DOS mode, and hopefully you can get it rolling again.
Oh, cross your fingers. That's a really interesting problem.
It is an interesting problem, yeah.
Wow.
Once upon a time, you could edit those kinds of things in DOS. You could actually run this setup. That was way back in Windows 95.
Yeah, you could change WinInny and tell it which driver to use.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that didn't. But in a way, that's what you're doing with the System Restore. You're rolling the registry back to a previous copy where it would still have the driver enabled. Does that make sense, Matt?
Yep.
It's your best bet at this point. Otherwise,
it's time
to reinstalling Windows. Hey, thank you, Matt. Good luck.
Yeah, no. Yep. Thanks.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, give that a try. That's actually a really good tip. It's not documented. They don't tell you anywhere. You can run System Restore from DOS. Hey, let's head on over to Andy right now because it's time for our free file of the day.
Free file of the day.
So C:/Windows System 32 Restore. That's the restore directory, and rstui.exe. And if you're in Windows, it'll run the GUI. But if you're not in Windows, if you're in the DOS command line, it'll just run a command line.
A DOSy.
And it'll tell you which. Where you can roll back to, and I would do one by one. Don't roll back to the oldest one. Roll back to the previous one and the previous one before that, and so forth.
Yeah. It looks the controls look exactly like the one in Windows. So
You should be able to do it. All right, free file of the day time. We're going to check how our download speeds.
Yeah, we're going to look at different websites and see how they perform.
Oh,
so that's kind of fun.
Don't look at my website; it's kind of slow right now. How do we do that?
Well, we are actually.
Oh,
ha ha. So I'm going to hit. So this is called SpeedTest Client, and it's made by Raccoonworks.
Actually, I'm very interested in learning this because I'm trying to figure out why it's been slow lately.
So we'll start with callforhelptv.com just to see how that does. forhelptv.com. Okay, so that tells us that.
It's a big red bar.
And let's go to Leahville.
We don't know what that means. Well, go to Leahville.tv because that's been a little slow lately.
Yeah. Leahville.tv.
Yeah, that's the server where we run our wiki.
So look how slow it is compared to the.
That's slow. It looks better because it's green.
Oh yeah, sorry, you're right. Yes,
I'm good, man. I'm beating you. I'm beating the pants off you.
Let's try Leahville.com.
Yeah, see how Leahville.com's doing. This is fun.
It is fun.
This is like racing. Ooh, not so good.
Not so good. And then we'll try finally to Cyberwalker.
Well, you know why callforhelptv.com is so slow?
Why?
Because everybody's going there.
Yeah, of course, for the free file.
The free file of the day.
There you go. And I got a Cyberwalkers.
Mine's just up and down all the time. That's the funny thing. Yeah. But I have little elves, sitting there pedaling. And sometimes they pedal faster, sometimes they pedal slower.
You feed them with scraps?
Exactly. This is from Raccoonworks.
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 Yeah, SpeedTest client is called.
I love this. And it's really not testing your connection speed. It's testing, or is it?
Well, it's the response, yeah, your connection speed is
part of it. It's part of it.
So if you live next door and you have a very fast connection to the web server, then of course it's going to show up better.
So it's partly your speed, but it's also the speed that the web server is responding.
That's right.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
And you can get that by bogging down our server, callforhelptv.com. All our free files of the day are up there. Hey, stick around. Our Microsoft Office expert, Heather McBurney, is back. She's got some great Microsoft Word tips for you, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Call for Help. I'm Leo Laporte, and our Office expert, Heather McBurney, is back. We didn't scare her off last time. She's going to show us some Microsoft Word tips. So every week, a different Microsoft Office product. Last week is PowerPoint. This week, Microsoft Word.
Yes.
And I have to give you a plug. Once again, Lexis Business Analysis at lexinc.com. That's your
correct.
website. Great. Okay. So what are we going to do today on Word?
What I thought we'd demonstrate is how you can use Microsoft Word Smart Tags and interoperate with Microsoft Outlook.
Smart Tags, what are they?
Smart Tags are just quick little tips. For example, if you want to schedule a meeting as you're writing a letter, what you can do is bring up a Smart Tag and have it automatically schedule it in your Outlook calendar, view your calendar, or work with your contact.
Is this something new in Office 2003?
Yes, it is.
Oh, cool.
Yes, it is.
Well, show me how it works.
So the first thing I'm going to demonstrate is how we can enter in a date and time and then schedule a meeting directly from there.
Okay. One thing I like is as soon as it sees you starting to type a date, you just hit return.
Yes,
the whole
you can.
date is right in there, yeah.
So I'm just entering in a random date and time at this point. You'll notice under the date we now have a series of underlined dashes.
Yeah,
which
that doesn't
tells
mean
me,
it's misspelled. That's a different kind of underline.
No, it's a different underline. So this tells me that if I hover my mouse over top that I'll have an information or an eye icon.
Oh.
So what I can do now is get Smart Tag actions. So if I click on the down arrow, I have quite a few options, such as schedule a meeting.
Oh, that's really cool.
So right now what I'm going to do is just say schedule a meeting.
Oh, wow.
It pops up my email.
It up right there, yeah.
Now, for my purposes, I'm not intending to invite anybody else. I'm going to cancel the invitation and enter in my meeting.
So in effect, you're working in Outlook at this point.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow, that's really
If you had multiple profiles, it would prompt you for which profile you'd like to schedule the meeting with, and I can just say save and close.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And you without leaving Word, you've scheduled that
Exactly.
meeting.
So what I can do at this point is I can select Show My Calendar to ensure that it's actually been done.
That's so cool.
And there we go. The calendar I just created.
That's really cool.
You can also get this to interoperate with Outlook using your recipients or names. So what I've done is change the options in my Smart Tag options to recognize persons' names.
So you did have to do that in the options, otherwise it doesn't do it automatically.
Yes. Okay. So one way I can look at that is say Smart Tag options, and person name is on, as well as Outlook email recipients.
So it'll look for email and names.
Okay. Exactly. So at this point, I now have a name entered in here. I get the dash, underlined dashes. So again, I can click, and I get different options now because of using a name.
So you could add it to your contacts.
Yeah,
as well.
I can select open contact if it's one that exists in my contact list in Outlook. I can add to my contacts, insert address, and so forth.
So it could be any name. It doesn't have to be a name that's in your address book.
No, it does not.
It recognizes, oh, that must be a name. It's two capitalized words next to each other.
If it happens to be a name that is in my contacts, I can automatically populate the address or any information that's in my contacts already.
See, that's handy, too, because a lot of times you don't have the person's address. I always open Outlook, cut it, paste it.
Yeah.
All I'd have to do is right-click on it. It would add the address.
So I say add to contacts, and it's done.
Wow, that's so cool.
Save and close,
tags.
and it's popped in.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
Well, Heather, this is what I look for. It's something that I've never seen. The problem with Word and Office in general is there's so many functions. You'd never find them all.
Exactly, and usually about 10 ways to accomplish any one given
that's
task.
Right. That's another typical Microsoft problem. Yeah. Thank you, Heather McBurney. Visit her website again at lexinc.com. She's with Lexis Business Analysis, and I'm proud to say, our Microsoft Office guru. We have links to her tips on our website at callforhelptv.com. More phone calls to come. Stick around here. We're going to help you right after this. Welcome back to Call for Help. I think it's time, I don't know, I'm just getting the feeling for another Call for Help. What are you doing, Monica?
Are
you doing your own?
I'm trying to
relax. You're going to relax later for us now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be fun.
So we can stress out now, and then I'll show you how to relax later.
All right. Who's our next call, I should say?
We have Calvin from Lubbock, Texas.
Calvin, how are you? Welcome to the show, Cal.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. What's the weather like in Lubbock right now?
Oh, it's beautiful weather.
Yeah, under 100?
Oh, yeah, it's running 85.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. Well, it's only about like 25 or 30, right? In Canadian currency. I'm still working on the Celsius conversions. What can I do for you, Calvin?
I was having trouble with my Internet Explorer, been slow to open.
Oh, interesting.
Running an XP, and I would...
when do you say slow? When you say slow, how slow?
Well, it may take anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds to open the page on the open home page.
So I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to click Internet Explorer, if we can get the screen up here. I'm going to click Internet Explorer and then count. Let's see, 1001, 1002, 1003. There's the screen, 1004. So it took 4 seconds. So no matter what page you're going to, it's taking you about 10 times longer?
Well, I went and restored my system. That improved it dramatically.
Okay.
I originally went through, ran spy bots and...
oh, good. All right. I was going to say.
Destroy and all the good stuff.
Oh, good. So you've run the anti-spyware checkers on there, right? Because that's one thing that could slow it down. You also have the antivirus on there?
Yes.
One other thing I would check is go to Tools, Internet Options, click the Connections button, and then check the LAN settings. Because if you've got a proxy server set in here...
I don't. I'm running cable.
Okay, so make sure that in fact, sometimes the cable company will tell you to check automatically detect settings. I find that slows things down, too. Most of the time, you can uncheck all the boxes in this LAN area here, and that will often speed up things. The reason is, if you check automatically detect settings, the browser then queries your internet service provider for what it should be doing, what kinds of settings. Should I be going through a server, what they call a proxy server, or not, and so forth. If you have a proxy, even worse, if you have a proxy server set up in here that doesn't exist, it can really take a long time. So I would say make sure those are all unchecked. Andy has some suggestions for you, too. What do you think?
I had a little idea, and this is something I forgot to mention during my SP2 segment, is that Internet Explorer has a new Manage Add-ons option, which is where often the spyware will insert it. And I know he's done a spyware scan, but what if he's missed something?
Right. So how can he do... Now, I don't have SP2 on my computer, so we'll have to do it on your computer.
So if we can punch it up. So I'm sitting here and looking at it. If I click on Tools, there's actually the third item down.
Hold on a second. Let's get your screen up here.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, so
third item down. That's new.
This is new. So Manage Add-ons.
Okay.
And these are the helpers that Microsoft uses.
Would spyware show up there?
Well, they're add-ons. They're helpers. That's how they get on. So they're so malicious. Yeah. So you can go through and
check and see if there's anything in there, Cal, that you don't want.
And you can say
third setting down.
Yeah. Have you installed Service Pack 2 yet, Calvin?
Yes.
Okay, so it would be the third item down on that menu.
Yeah.
It says manage add-ons, is that what it says?
Manage add-ons, yeah. And there's an enable or disable button.
Very interesting. But you did say you ran all the spyware checkers. Have you checked that connection box on the Internet Options? Have you made sure that none of those boxes are checked?
No, it's all blanked out.
It's all blanked out. A lot of times a cable modem company will... You might check with a cable modem company, too. They may actually want you to go through a proxy server, in which case...
no proxies.
They said no proxies, okay.
Before I did the restore, I got multiple desktops. My son has the desktop. I've got mine.
Yeah.
On his, it's Internet Explorer opened up multiple times, up to 100-plus times. Just cascade,
That's not good.
He's got get in to check it. He just kept.
Yeah. He's probably got some spyware, and or either that or a stuck key on a keyboard, which, believe it or not, can do that as well. If you have the Enter key get stuck, it'll start doing things like that. But I'm guessing he probably has some spyware on there. Spyware nowadays, I hate to say it, has become such a plague. I can almost guarantee anybody I talk to, even if they have AdAware and Spybot, does have some spyware on their system, and it very often causes weird, anomalous behavior like slow browser loading or extra toolbars or multiple windows or ads at a time when you least expect it. All of those things can happen from these spyware programs, and it's really a terrible shame.
It also it will also
toolbars. How do I get rid of some of these extra toolbars?
Ah,
go through View and go through and disable. Next time it opens up, they're back.
Then you got it spyware. Which toolbars are doing that?
Yahoo. There's
I think you have spyware on your system. Those toolbars should stay off. Explorer should remember which toolbars you've turned on and off, and it shouldn't be turning them on willy-nilly. That is behavior that's typical of browser hijackers. So I'm guessing. Now, we've said this before, and it's unfortunate, but AdAware and SpyBot, as good as they are not very good with browser hijackers, because browser hijackers endeavor to get around them by doing really creepy things like changing their file names randomly so that these programs don't know what to look for. They're very bad at removing browser hijackers. Pest Patrol's a little bit better. What do you use, Andy? What do you recommend?
I like Pest Patrol a lot. I use something called Spyware Killer. In the case of browser hijack, so there's a CW Shredder, which if it's the cool web.
That's for one particular one. That is the most common one.
It's
Let me recommend, Calvin, one more place to go that's really useful. They were down for a while. See if they're back up. Nope, they're down still. Spywareinfo.com. By the time the show airs, it probably will be back up. This was a great site, spywareinfo.com. Lots of information on fighting browser hijackers. In fact, they have a whole page dedicated to it and a list of all of the browser hijacking objects that are out there and ways to remove them. It's not, as we're doing this show right now, Calvin, it's not up, spywareinfo.com, but it says it will be ready soon. By the time the show airs, I'm sure it will be available. That's something everybody should take a look at if you're having problems with spyware. Good luck, Calvin.
Could I have one more question about Firefox?
You certainly could.
How to disable the autocomplete, or when I go into search, let's say I'm searching box.
Right.
Next time I go to put it enter B, I get box or baker or boy.
Yeah.
The last B I've searched.
You don't want to see all of that.
Nah.
Yeah. So let me, by the way, recommend, and I'm glad to hear you say the word Firefox. That's the best way to fight browser hijacking. If you click the Advanced tab in the Options, I believe if it says Use Find as you type, I believe if you turn that off, that will turn off the autocomplete. I think, I'll have to play with this. It's been a while since I like autocomplete. Maybe it's in saved form information. I'll tell you what, let me look around, Calvin, see if I can figure it out. Hang on the line, and we'll mention it when we come back from the break. But I'm sure it's in here somewhere. I'm just not sure. I'm guessing it's under this accessibility. It's the Use Find as you type. But we'll see if we can look for a more logical place for that.
Okay.
Hey, thank you for the call, Calvin.
Thank you.
It's great to talk to you. Keep calling, keep listening, keep watching. We got one more chance now for you to take our daily quiz. Our question of the day today: what company invented the transistor in 1947? Was it MITS, International Business Machines, Bell Labs, or Transistor Shack? Go to the website, give us your answer. We'll talk about it when Call for Help continues.
Questions.
Welcome back to Call for Help. Before the break, we asked you which company invented the transistor in 1947. I'm going to guess it was Bell Labs. Yes, it is. Bell Laboratories in New York State. And I think it was a man named Shockley who won the Nobel Prize for his discovery of the transistor in 1947. Hope you got that right. If you did, you're smart. You're a smart person. Now, I'm relaxed. I'm not going to get back into that loaded
I'm stressing out right now.
because I don't think I could do it again. But maybe you could help me get a little bit calm, a little bit relaxed.
Well, a lot of people, of course, you're at work, you're at your desk, you spend practically all day on your computer, and it's, everything bunches up.
Tension.
And not everyone can go for a walk during their lunch hour. And
that's a good way.
You want ways to relax on your PC right there in front of your desk if you're stuck in your cubicle.
How?
Well, I found a few sites on the internet actually that provide some things that you can download so you can listening exercises, soothing sounds. That sound that you're hearing right now is from atmosphere light.
Sounds like traffic noise.
Okay, let me change it. Okay, let me show atmosphere light.
You use this one.
Yes,
I
use this every night.
at home.
I sleep to this.
Which one do you sleep to?
some strange reason, I like this.
You like thunderstorms?
I like storms.
Well, that's kind of, yeah. It is. It sounds like Riders on a Storm.
Yeah. So there's woodlands.
Nice. What's your woodlands?
Oh.
Why are we keeping any? You're not, Greg. You're not doing that, are you?
Oh, you know what? No. That's something else.
We have too many relaxation programs running.
I gotta pause it.
It's very annoying, very unrelaxing. Oh, okay. That was the ocean.
Phew. So this is neat. So you can choose.
Oh, that's nice. Is that Andy?
This is what I like to listen to. Storm.
This is the one you listen to?
Yeah, this is what I listen to.
So you run this all night?
Yep, all night on my computer.
Wow.
So anyone walking by my door is like,
there's a storm in there.
Yeah. And you can adjust what you want and save your own customized little sound. And
you can mix them together.
Yeah.
You have a little ocean, little crickets.
Yeah, do a little.
This is called Atmosphere Light, and it's free?
It's free, yeah. You can download this from...
What was the other one?
Oh, this one, I found it on relaxation.com.
You better turn off the Atmosphere Light,
right? Oh, yeah,
right?
I better do that.
Otherwise, we're going to get it all mixed up.
Autocomplete.
You better turn off Andy, too, because I don't hear him. I hear him. It's not very relaxing. Okay, let's hear this one.
Yeah, so this one, let me unpause that.
This looks like where I live.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, continue.
Looks like the shore in Northern California. I think it is.
Nice little visuals.
That's Hawaii.
It's like taking a vacation during your lunch.
Oh, yeah, see, that's Pebble Beach, California.
Really?
Yeah.
So there's a whole bunch of stuff to choose from. Oh, there we go. Let me turn that on.
Now, that comes from a website. This is not an application.
Nope, this is right from the website.
Let's go to Meditation Mountains. What do they sound like? Wouldn't they be very quiet?
It's like Montana.
Do the mountains make any sound at all?
I don't know. We'll find out.
I am a mountain.
It's loading.
This is unwindonline.com.
Yeah.
Oh, we're in a meadow.
So it's, and there's also other sites, like if you go to the learningmeditation.com, it's a whole bunch to choose from. There's this one here, it's called Work Break, and what does it talks you into sit properly, sit up, close your eyes, you know. It's a nice little meditation, 5 minutes.
This is great. I'm feeling so much better already.
So
I love it.
You know, so you can relax
now. We can get back to use one of these things, though.
I used it a few times already.
Yeah, use it on him.
So I've got a whole bunch.
He's
of
telling me, we're late. Come on, hurry up. He said, relax, Just relax. He feels much better now.
Anyway, there's a lot that I could show you, but just go to our website. I've got all these links for either downloads or streaming audio or
callforhelptv.com.
Callforhelptv.com.
Who's our next caller? Who do we have? Deepak Chopra on line 3? No. Who is our caller?
We've got Scott from Oak Ridges, Ontario.
Hello,
Hi,
Scott. Let me walk on over.
Now.
Say hello to Basil, who's always relaxed. Always, he's very relaxed. Hey, Scott, how are you?
Pretty good, Leo. How are you?
I am very well. What can we do for you today?
Well, I've been hearing a lot recently about the various telephony services that are available, things like Skype, and now also it seems like the phone companies and cable companies are all getting into it.
It's very popular right now.
Yeah, well, I've tried in the past. I've tried systems like Dialpad and Net2Phone with pretty poor results. So I was wondering if you could sort of walk through a description of the various options that are available and sort of the hardware and software solutions that you need to get it up and running properly. I've run a very small sort of international business, and telephone is a major concern when it comes to the budget.
Right. Well, and that's good that you told me this is for business, because your needs are very different, obviously, for business. You've got to put on a presentation. You can't be kind of, oh, yeah, we're using hobbyist software. And that was, I have to say, Net2Phone and Dialpad were first-generation products in this category, which is called Voice over Internet Protocol, VoIP, or Internet Telephony. It's using your high-speed Internet connection for your telephone calls. And there are really two kinds of ways to do this. One is computer to computer. Those will be absolutely free in most cases. Skype is a good example of that. You can download that from Skype.com. One of the worst names ever. I understand it was a Belgian programmer who named it. Well, that'll explain it. So, Skype is, I've got up on the screen here, Skype is designed for me on my computer with a headset and a microphone calling another computer with a headset and a microphone. That's probably not appropriate for business. I have to say, though, it works great. They just came out with a Macintosh OS X client. But I don't think you really want to tell your clients, oh, hey, you got to download this software and then we can have phone calls back and forth.
It wouldn't work too well.
Yeah, I mean, what you really want is the second category, which basically uses a phone. But in between your phone and the other phone is the internet instead of the standard switched telephone network. And, you know, many, many phone companies are doing this. I use a product called Vonage, which I found to be very good. It has a lot of nice business features. For instance, inexpensive 800 numbers, $10 a month U.S. It also has the ability to have a local number in many different cities. So even if you're a small business, Scott, you could have a number in Toronto, in Vancouver, in Montreal, and it's, boy, you sure look, a local number. I'm not talking an 800 number, a local number. You sure look like a big business. Lots of nice features. It's very inexpensive. Andy uses one, too. What's the one that you use?
It's a company here in Canada called Primus Broadband.
Primus Broadband.
CA, I think they are.
And
I've heard of Primus, and I understand that Vonage is actually coming into Canada.
Yes.
Yeah, they're already here.
They're here, yeah. I have had very good results with Vonage, except when the internet is highly congested. Occasionally you'll get kind of noisy calls.
I've had very bad experience with Primus.
So we say thumbs down to Primus based on Andy's experience.
It cuts out after 7 minutes of calls.
In both these cases, you'll get what's called a terminal adapter. It's a box that plugs into your broadband connection or your cable modem or your DSL modem, and then a phone plugs into that. You can also plug a router into it so your network is still online. You're not losing your internet. I find Vonage has worked very well for me. It's inexpensive. Calls, international calls, for instance, calls from the U.S. and Canada are free, but calls to Japan, 3 cents a minute. So I think for a small business where you're making a lot of international calls,
most of the calls are to the US
that is an excellent solution. So. Yeah, highly recommend it. Hey, Scott, we got to run. We're hard on the end of the show, but I think this is absolutely a coming category and really a good way to go, especially for business. Hey, thanks for the call.
Okay,
I appreciate
thanks.
it. Stick around. Final words and how you can be on the show right after this.
I cannot find.
Oh, I'll be darned. Welcome back to Call for Help. Look at Monica. We had come here, Simon. Come over, sit here. We had Monica. We had Simon. We had Mikey. We had what's her name? Andy looking for it, and nobody could find. Calvin's question was, how do we turn off autocomplete in Firefox? And it's kind of not where you'd expect it. It's in the saved form information part of the privacy tab.
Options, privacy.
And you uncheck that box. Come here, Simon. Come here.
Hey, Simon.
We want to say goodbye. It just seems like we just started to Simon, who's been a great intern for us. You going back to school? Where are you going?
I go to Western.
Western. Yeah. So it's back to school for Simon.
Yeah.
But we'll be here, and I hope you'll watch us on TV.
Maybe he'll come back at Christmas.
If you want to be on the show, you could be an intern. Just call us. But we also want callers. Callforhelptv.com is the place to go. It's sad. Bye-bye, Simon.
Bye.
Remember, if you got a problem with your personal confuser, don't whine, don't moan, don't yell. What do you do? Call for help. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.